What's up, world? I'm Mikey Nice.
What up, what up? I am the cameraman. You know who it is. The one, the only. Rilzio.
Yep. So what's going on, cameraman? We here for another Sunday smoke sesh, my man.
No doubt, son.
This is the podcast from Headroom. That's all about the
Church of Headroom. That was funny in the
It's one of those things where it's all about what goes on in your brain and all the little thoughts that you have when you smoke weed with your boys.
That's right.
And we got nothing. So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna light this up and get a little inspiration.
A little inspiration. So how'd you guys feel, man, about the listening to our old podcast? We have a ton of shit. A lot of it is very, like, if you thought that was cringeworthy, please. That's
not that much I would actually. Because I don't know how much of it would be in context, and I don't know how many shows I actually have.
Well, if you like it, let us know. We'll see.
Because a lot of it was like reference to the older shows, so some of it would be out of context. But we could get some. We could get some of those bits.
Some of them, if you like it. If you liked what you were listening to, let us know. And we were thinking about doing an actual podcast too, like just a podcast, like an audio only
podcast, maybe.
This way,
let us know what you think about it.
Maybe we'll get freaky.
Maybe the 56 of you would tell us where you want to listen to that, if you would want to listen to
That's
that.
Right.
Where do people listen to
I don't know, Apple, Spotify, fucking...
Oh, so there's places.
Who knows? Who cares? Just listen to this and watch this. We're here, we're now, we're doing this, we're smoking for my little freaking bad boy.
Oh, that's the best piece.
My B-R-E-O.
Like the green thumb piece. These blue cookies taste out of control.
I'm actually smoking on some Bubba Kush.
Bubba Kush. Oh yeah, I like his shrimp.
Yes.
And shrimp is good, so I bet his Kush is pretty bad. How many different ways can you have Kush?
Holy shit. There is like a phenomenal amount.
As many different ways as
phenomenal.
As many different ways as you could have shrimp.
That's right. Pretty much. Pretty much. All you could eat. So what do we got this week, man?
I don't know. I got nothing really.
Always moving it along, right? I'm always moving it along. Let's go.
What are you thinking about? What do you think about time travel? You think time travel is possible? Like if you go back in time?
I think it is, but it's so delicate.
Can you go? I think you could go back in time, but I don't think you could go forward in time because that doesn't make sense.
Because it hasn't happened yet.
Right, but back in time is just a matter of perspective, right?
And I tend to believe that because there's so much things that you could do by going back in time and changing shit that it's so much more dangerous. So I would, if I had my choice, I'd want to go forward in time for sure.
But I don't think that's possible. I don't know how that would make sense though, right? Because if you had a telescope, you could see like something happening, like let's just say a star exploding.
Right.
But by the time it's so far away that by the time the light travels to you, that event has already happened so many millions of years ago.
I see where you're going.
You know what I'm trying to say? So like theoretically, if you had a telescope that was powerful enough, you could see the creation of a galaxy that lived its entire lifespan of millions and millions of years and is gone now.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. That's insane.
So that's how you can go back in time. I don't know how you can go forward in time. That just doesn't make sense.
So it's a one-way trip.
I think.
But what would you rather do? Of course, you don't want to go back in time.
Of course, I'd want to go back in time. Sure, why not?
But do you get to be young again, or you have to or you're yourself, but with all the knowledge that you have now?
You go back in time. I think you have to go. See, that's what I think crazy homeless people are.
Oh shit!
No, I'm serious because I think you have. I'm dead ass because I think you have to go back in time naked, right? So if you were from the year, if you went back in time right now, and you went back into the year 1820, and you were naked as a jaybird. Number one, you really wouldn't speak the same like everybody else. You wouldn't understand what was going on.
Right.
And anybody that you could converse with, you'd be like, yeah, but there's electric lights and I have a cell phone in my pocket. And they wouldn't know what you were talking about. And there would be no way for you to prove it. And you would just be crazy.
Right, that makes sense.
You wouldn't have any skills with which to get a job that you could maintain a living, right?
Could you though? I mean,
I don't know. Could you?
I don't know, man. That the shit that makes you think when you.
That's what I'm thinking about, bro.
That's crazy.
And I think that's what crazy homeless people are. I think they're time travelers that came back in time, and they're like, "Yo, where's my jetpack?" And they're like, "You got to walk up the stairs." And they're like, "What? What are stairs?"
Because in order to time travel, it's only organic matter, right? You can't fucking.
I imagine if you revert back,
Unless
to
you're
any
in
movie.
something, unless you're traveling in something, like a la, what's the thing with Doctor? What's his name?
I don't
And
know.
Marty McFly.
Oh, the
And,
DeLorean.
Back to the
And
Future.
the stainless steel DeLorean.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe that somehow holds all that shit in, so you can't. So you know what I'm saying? So you travel as that.
All right, but even if you brought a cell phone back in time,
But again, that's not an organic thing.
but even if you brought but it's stainless steel. That's what they said.
Oh.
But even if you brought a cell phone back in time, it wouldn't work. There's no satellites.
That's true.
So, and the battery would die shortly thereafter. So then you're just holding this weird piece of glass.
That could take videos, though.
Not if it's out of battery.
How you gonna charge it? Oh God.
You know what I'm saying?
You'd
You
have
would
to-
lose your mind. You would go crazy.
Oh my God.
If you had to live in society 200 years ago, how would you do it? Especially if you're used to modern conveniences and shit. It gets dark, and then what happens?
I know. Wow.
There's no lights.
Hence why I wouldn't want to go back. I didn't want to go forward.
But you don't even know what that would be about either. When the robots take over, because the robots are definitely going to take over.
But what if I have bionics or some shit? You know what I'm saying?
Why would they give that to you? Why would they give that to you?
Why not?
Why would the
'Cause they give it
robots
to
give you?
everybody.
Why would the robots give you stuff
Because they want us to be
that
like
you
that.
could defeat them with? They just need you for what reason? Because they're going
That's
to take over. The
batteries.
robots are definitely going to take over, right? I mean, no.
It's pretty imminent. Yes.
So
It is.
Why would you want to take over?
AI is so insane right now, man. But it's still nowhere near the point like a HAL type of thing or anything like that. You know
How
what
do
I'm
you
saying?
know?
Well, that's true. That's
How do you
true.
know?
Because they release technology to us in such little dribbles and try to milk everything. So
What if the robots only keep us alive to collect our DNA so that they could clone us and make us exist in a virtual reality?
The Matrix.
I'm saying, but what if they're doing that?
That was actually pretty super believable.
So that's why I don't want to go to the future.
That was pretty super believable.
I don't want to go to the future.
But what if there's a future beyond that that's already bright? And
Can't I just go back to like
better?
the 70s?
The 70s.
To like I could be like my age in the 70s.
The pot wasn't that good back then, though.
You say that, but I can fix that. I could be the one that changes that. And they had
You
northern
are the
lights
next
back
Jack
then.
Harrar.
And they had northern lights back then. I could live off northern lights. I lived off worse.
And plus, you know how to cultivate too. So
You don't remember the Great Drought in 1997?
yeah, actually,
There was a Great Drought in 1997. We were smoking lawn clippings. That's true.
You could have been the man if you
It's
had the
true.
fucking.
And then the cocoa tie came through. And then the tie stick came through.
Oh, but you'll have all the fucking pre-knowledge too of all the fucking Super Bowls. You can be rich, dude.
I don't know about any of that stuff. I don't care about any of that stuff.
You don't
would
know.
just have to
you
bring
can't.
back
You
something
can't
like
remember
Biff.
like at least.
I remember the Giants Super Bowl wins.
You remember the years?
No, I wouldn't have to. I remember when they played
So
the
just
Patriots twice,
bet big.
and I remember when they played the Patriots.
Dude, there's so much crazy shit that you can do with that. But that's what I'm saying. There's so much, like, just like killing anything within that universe, dude. Because everything matters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Literally. So you can kill a freaking roach and it might matter
In that universe.
in that universe. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, but what if roaches are masters in another universe?
Imagine little roach masters with
What if they're giant?
general.
What if they're like dinosaurs?
Oh shit.
What if you went back in time when there were dinosaurs? That would be insane.
That's true.
How long do you think you'd last with your cell phone?
Imagine our bodies to these to like germs and everything are living, moving vessels. You know what I'm saying? That must be so
Sure,
huge to them.
we're like a planet to them.
We're their flat Earth.
We're their planet. Well, yeah, everything would be flat to them. They're in 2 dimensions anyway.
That's true.
right?
Oh man, the shit that you think of when you get high.
When you get lifted, bro, that's what you think about.
That's what it's always been about.
Right?
That's it.
Right? Right? Like, what the
Time
fuck is
travel.
the sun really? Like, we're following the sun. The planets follow the sun because of the sun's mass and heat, but it gives us life, but it could kill you. That's pretty crazy, right?
Completely.
It's this fine, it's at an equilibrium.
I want to really know what happens if we were to move the moon.
Move the moon?
Yes.
It would interfere with the equilibrium of everything.
That's what I'm saying, but is it like tidal waves and all kinds of crazy shit? That
Everything would go out of whack.
But would it ever get back to a stable orbit?
Eventually, everything will find equilibrium eventually.
Wow.
But through polarity. Everything has to exist in balance, polarity. So there has to be equilibrium for things to be at peace, to rest in equilibrium.
Things that make you go,
Yeah. That's why if you went back in time, you could disrupt that equilibrium.
That's what I'm saying. That's why there's so much shit that, you wouldn't kill you can't kill Hitler, stuff like that.
Well, how would you kill Hitler? Like, how could you find Hitler now?
No, I'm saying
Like, that would be like saying, well, I'll just go kill, if I was alive in 2011, I would have killed, Saddam. No, well, they already killed
what
him.
if you could put yourself right in the same chamber that he's going to be all by himself? You got a good, well, you can't get a gun.
How
'cause
could you
can't
do
shoot.
that? How could you do that anyway, though? You can't do that now. That would be like trying to kill somebody now. I'm going to go kill, Kim Un or whatever his name is and whatever.
It's difficult.
Not without a drone. It's very difficult without a drone these days.
Damn it, you can't.
But
time
could you imagine if you went back to 1940 and you told the average person about drones,
They'd be like, what?
and they would think you're a crazy person,
Why? Why would you want that?
and they would be like, you'd be like, no, but you got a phone in your pocket, and like it listens to your conversations and it suggests things for you to buy, and you're like, what? Yeah, the government owns it. What?
And you guys are okay with that?
Yeah, and they would be like,
And
what?
you still use it?
And I'd be like, no, well, kind of everybody, like, you have to. You kind of have to. What do you mean you have to? It's mandated? Well, it's not really mandated, but if you don't, your life is more difficult.
Either
So
you assimilate or you don't.
you have to get down or you lay down.
You go live off the land somewhere. Like
Can't do that anymore, I don't think.
Oh shit, that's right.
You can't collect rainwater and stuff.
You really can't collect rainwater?
In some states.
That's fucking get the
It's
fuck
their
out of
rain.
here, man.
It's their rain. You're not allowed
They're
to collect
fucking
it.
polluted rain.
You're not allowed to collect it and sample it and see what kind of chemicals are in there.
Jesus Christ.
Heavy metals. I don't know. Is that stuff true though? I don't know. See, that's the stuff you like
Chemtrails.
that you get into start thinking about, right? When they're like, no, we're just geoengineering the weather. You're like, wait, what? So why is it still?
That I believe.
So, all right. So then why are there still forest fires?
Because maybe they want to get
Why are
rid
there
of
still
that over
hurricanes?
there.
If you're
Or whatever.
geoengineering, why are there still devastating hurricanes? And how are you telling me?
Maybe that's the aftermath of the product of whatever they do in the first place.
But how are you telling me you're not
have
you
to
didn't-
release it somewhere.
All right, fine, but you don't know that that's happening. So how do you know that that's not some weapon now that they're using as war? Weaponized weather, right? That's what they're talking about. And why would they not use it against us to create some sort of hysteria for some reason or whatever?
So you don't believe HARP exists?
Of course, I believe HARP exists. HARP does exist. They admit it exists. It's not a question whether it exists or not.
And it admits that it's a weather.
It admits that the weather changing aspect of it is it's what do you call it? It's a side effect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's what I'm saying. The side effects of what's going and
Yeah.
fucking up these places.
I think the side effects are the main reason, though.
Because the weather, especially here in New York, it's been so weird, man. It's like
I don't know if the weather's been weird.
No,
Here, I
it
know
hasn't
there's,
been,
like,
but it's
massive
been
earthquakes in
But it hasn't been
Puerto Rico and China and
overly
stuff like that.
cold. You know what I'm saying? Like we only had a few cold, really, really cold days. You know,
Right.
it hasn't been too bad. I don't know, just things that make you think.
In the wintertime. But you never really like, man, it's like extra cold or extra hot in the summertime. You know, like, oh, it's extra hot this year. It's There's not like been heat waves in New York. There's been heat waves in Europe and shit though. Like crazy 107 degrees for like 60 days. People dying, heat stroke and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, we haven't had anything like that in a while. That's really, really bad. You know.
A couple of days.
That's it. And we're already complaining. You know.
No, but I mean, you know, it's like
Even when we get like we close down schools with just the idea of snow.
No, because they mandate a certain amount of snow days, so they have to get them off. If not, they can't mandate them for the following year. That's the way systems work. It's ridiculous, but
one used to be like that when I was in school.
No, it was different. We used to go to Hill.
We'd be sitting in school and it's fucking snowing. Like, are we gonna go home? No, we're not.
And you
We're
wake
gonna
up
stay
in the
right
morning
here.
and you'd wait to listen on the news or the TV if your school was shut down.
But it had to be really fucked up for it to.
And even when it was really snowy, you're like, oh well.
Exactly.
Get to learning, boys. And you had to go uphill both ways.
So our parents still had
10
to go
feet
to
of
work.
snow. 10 feet of snow both ways uphill.
What's your? Have you ever like gone down a hill on a slide or anything like that? We used to, when we were kids, we used to actually take a hood of a car,
right,
and go down the back of Bronx Park East. You know where the police station is right there on the Bronx River Parkway. We used to take the and like 5 of us get all cut up from the fucking thing. That was crazy, man.
Well, my uncle bought us sleds, plastic sleds.
Oh, we didn't have money. Like
well, no, my uncle.
Rich like you, huh?
Yeah, my uncle was real rich because he bought us 2 plastic sleds.
Exactly, we didn't get that.
No,
we
I know.
Carheads.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, whatever. I guess it's some cultural difference.
I had holes in mine.
What was your uncle doing? Your uncle couldn't afford $12 for a plastic sled?
No, he was selling cocaine.
Okay, well, that's a cultural difference, I imagine. But the point being is that we used to go further north a little slightly on the Bronx River Parkway there by the river, and by like I want to say between Gun Hill Road and 220th Street, 219th Street, there's like hills that go right into the river. Kind of goes like kind of like if you don't stop, you could end up in the river. But the river was frozen back then, but it's still hard to get up the embankment. But that was fun. We did that a couple times. Snowball fights and stuff, ice ball fights and all of that.
I don't miss the snow shit. Well, actually, I do. We used to.
I like looking at snow.
Like igloos. We used to make dope ass igloos and get high in there.
Where'd you do that?
Right in the back of Parkchester over here. We used to They used to pile it all to the wall, and then we would just dig tunnels into the little piles that were on the wall, and make our own little chimney and everything.
Like apartments.
Apartments, yeah, and then live in them. They're actually warm in them, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, because it retains the heat. Absolutely, that's why igloos work.
Yes, they do.
It's an insulation.
That's true.
Like if you went back in time, you would have to.
I'm sorry.
If you went all the way, right? You can pile up the snow and make a shelter for yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my god. Oh, this is too
The funny thing is that I finally remembered what we originally were talking about.
Exactly. That's like what I'm...
So I wanted you to know that I didn't forget.
Alright, we put it back to time travel.
That's funny. Oh man, that's funny. All right,
Little hits keep moving.
and you got on because
We're going out.
Yeah, I imagine take a little hit
So
out.
I'm gonna take a hit out.
I'm
for
lifted,
y'all.
son.
This one is for y'all.
That blue cookie
This
got
one's
me
for you.
lifted.
For all you do, the king of bongs, baby bongs, is coming through.
Micro bongs. Peace out, people.